Hi, bitch besties. It's your main bitch, Melly. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome to another episode of the Judgy Bitch Pod. Hello, bitch besties. Welcome to another episode of the Judgy Bitch Pod. And look who's here. She is back. You may remember her from our previous episode where she shared a truly heart-wrenching story how she suffered a heart attack in her mid-30s. But she's also the most creative and talented and gifted person I know here in LA. Cat Miggs, welcome back to the Judgy Bitch Pod.
Yes. Hello. I'm so excited to be back on. Yes.
I'm so
Oh my
excited
God.
to have you back on. But
Yeah.
before
I've
we
been
dive,
listening to all your other guests and they've just been amazing. So I'm happy that you called me back.
thank you so much. And before we dive into the episode, let me know how you're doing. How are you feeling? How's your health? How are you doing?
Yeah. We're taking it one day at a time. It's 26, Fire Horse. I'm starting to feel it. I will say I felt January and a little bit February. The last bit of the snake really bit me and definitely working through. But now we're in the Fire Horse year and I'm excited to excel and grow.
Yes,
Mhm.
Fire Horse. I'm excited for this. I have really, really huge hope into this. Do you believe in that?
I do, yeah, I do. I believe in a lot, like a mixture. It's not just like I follow one thing that I believe in a lot of different things. I'm spiritual, so I grab what's relatable to me, what
Yeah.
makes me feel better at the end of the day. Yeah.
I'm the same way. Anything that's inspirational or motivational, I'm like, I go with that one. No.
Mhm.
So, or like the snake, it made total sense that we had such a shitty year. And I was like, yeah, I totally believe it. So this year with the fire horse, I'm like, let's fucking go.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I hear
Absolutely.
you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
absolutely hear you. So I have to give the bitch besties a little behind the scenes right now. We are recording this episode on a Friday evening. And we're both pretty much brain dead. Our brains are broken. They're not working properly anymore. So just bear with us. But I also have to tell you a funny story. When I just came home, I took Pina to the park as I always do. And I came home and I put my makeup on a Friday evening. I'm like, who am I? Am I hip? Am I going anywhere? No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just staying home as usually. I'm still the same lame couch potato. It's just I have a great interview with Kat.
Yeah. There you go. It works. I like it.
Right? So, Kat, tell my bitch besties, why did I invite you to come back on? Because this is great news. Actually, by the time the episode airs, it will premiere the following week. But
Mhm.
I want to give you a little drum roll and you tell us what the project is we're talking about.
So I created, it's been years in making, but I'm launching my audio fictional series called The Tree Whisperer, about a forest ranger who can talk to trees and the everyday adventures in a wonderful park called Bufford National Park. Totally made up, but it's fantasy, comedy, and lots of humor. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're launching it as a podcast, correct?
Yeah. So I'm putting it out as a podcast, basically audio, fiction podcast series. Because I want the audiences to really use their imagination and get the world. I originally wrote this as a TV show, but because I don't want it animated, I actually want it live action. I really want talking trees. It's going to be expensive, so before I create the TV show, I want to try it as an audio series, a podcast, and see how people react and build a following and then maybe get more inspiration and turn it to an actual show. So, goals, steps.
Yeah, Fire Horse. We're getting there this year.
Yes. Yes.
I love that so much. I can't wait to listen to it. Return the favor because I know you're an avid listener of the Judgy Bitch Pod, which I really, really appreciate. And thank you so much. So I can't wait to listen to your show.
Yeah.
And I know you have different, are they still called actors on? I think, right? Actors?
Yeah, so I have a cast for the Tree Whisperer. I only did the first 4 episodes. I have many more episodes written, but I want to test out these first 4. So I have a total of about 50 actors attached to this. Lots of voices, lots of characters, lots of fun times. So yeah.
Wow. And you came up all by yourself with the whole story, the whole storyline, every character you play, everything.
Yes.
Mind blown. How?
So this actually project has been this is a 5-year and making. If you told me 5 years ago that I wouldn't I mean, and again, it's still growing. I don't even know how many rewrites of this series I've written for this show, too many to count, but I now understand as a creator when people say it takes 5 years, 10 years for a project to be made. I really discovered that with this project. It is very true. It takes a lot of patience, but it's also lovely because where the very original script that I did, my very first table read with it, the story has completely evolved and changed for the best in the best ways possible. If I launched it 5 years ago, it would not be the series that it's going to be today.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to listen to it. Why the Tree Whisperer? Where did this idea come from?
So 5 years ago, I was an Uber driver and I was in acting class at the same time. And our teacher gave us this assignment that was like, oh, hey, come up with ideas for a story or whatever. And I was driving and I saw the Smoky Bear little advertisement at like a stoplight and whatnot. And I was like, oh, it'd be funny if we had, a character and Susan popped in my head and she talked to trees. And I brought it into class. I presented different opportunities. Of course, there were other ideas I had, but everyone was like, that one, that tree was that girl who talks to trees, Susan. Yeah, she's funny. Make her a forest ranger. Yeah, yeah, she that. There we go. And so that's how it started. It started with Forest Ranger Susan talking to trees. It was a very simple idea. And like I said, 5 years later, now I've developed into a whole crazy storyline that I'm excited for people to hear.
I'm so excited. I love that. And is Susan you in disguise or is
Yeah,
Susan
so I
completely
play
made up?
Susan. I play Susan.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, with all my characters, you always throw some part of you. But believe it or not, the whole script, I will say every character in this script is a version of somewhere in me. Like, honestly, I could have played all the characters, but, also I'm a collaborator. I want to um, give as many people opportunities because people give me
Love that.
opportunities in
Mhm.
this field, so it's just, a thing to share. But yeah, all the characters are just, little facets of my brain. So yeah. But yeah, I play Susan and she's an interesting character herself too. And also she's also evolved over the years too. So and I think I finally, like I said, now have the version that I want her to be.
Oh, I'm even more excited now because over the holiday break, I saw you in a couple theater plays, play as an actor or actress. I don't think we say actress anymore. I think it's all actor now,
You
right?
can still say actress. It doesn't matter, but actor is the universal term, but you can still say actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I saw you play and you were just amazing. I think I'm one of your biggest fans and I always come out when you play somewhere and I just recommend to everybody who's in the LA area and has a chance to catch you somewhere to absolutely do that because you blow me away every single time. You're so talented. So I can wait for this show. But tell me, and the Bitch Besties, you said it's playing in Bufford National Park. What
Yes.
inspired you for this place? Is this something from your childhood or anything?
No. So what happened was as I was prickling with ideas, my thing is I didn't want to have this forest to be in like a certain spot in the US. So I
Mhm.
originally when I was googling, I said which part of the US has zero population, and there was this little town called Buford. And then as I looked it up, there were many towns called Buford, and then I said, you know what? Let me add an F to it and name it Bufford. And basically, I researched it. There's never a town ever called Bufford or Bufford National Park. And I said, that is where we are putting it. So it's supposed to be basically in a made up area, never heard of, but yet heard of. And then as far as my trees, All my trees are from different regions of the United States. So again, it's a collaboration. So yeah.
Wow. Amazing. That's just, I mean, your thought process and the
Mhm.
amount of research that goes into a storytelling is just incredible. And what made you decide on trees and not animals, for example?
Uh, Again, it goes to that first idea that I had. You know, they say your first ideas are, you always got to trust your first ideas. It's intuition. I wanted her to talk to trees. Originally, I thought it was a joke too when I presented it. That's another fun fact. When I started researching people who talk to trees, I discovered that's actually a real thing. There are people out there who truly communicate, and the trees actually talk to them. There's this whole area, like all over the world, that people go and do this. So at first, it was just more of a comical. I was like, oh, that'd be funny talking to trees.
Yeah,
But the more I researched it, I realized that people actually do have this ability to talk to trees, and it is a very spiritual thing. And I just want to give a nod to them. Um, so that's the other reason. And I mean, I feel like other people have done talking animals or stuff
right.
like that.
Yeah,
No one's done a talking tree before to my knowledge. So, and the other thing, yes, except for cartoons, but not in, like I said, eventually I would like this to be live action in real time. So, yeah.
yeah. I love that. And you may know, you may have seen it on my social media. I recently hiked here in LA up to the wisdom tree. And, there is such a thing as people say, hug a tree. It's good for good spirits and energy. So I did hug the wisdom tree. I don't know if you can tell yet if that did anything to me or not, but,
I love
that's
that.
just,
Yeah. Oh.
we'll see. We'll see. But what would you say if the tree could, or the trees in your story could describe Susan, speaking of talking trees, what would they say about Susan?
Yeah, so they are a fan of Susan, but they also they think humans are just a whole bunch of crazy bags, they're very curious about humans. And again, they enjoy Susan because Susan could actually talk to them when they were younger, but there you'll hear it in the story how she stops talking to trees, and then you come to the present day where she again can talk to trees. That's a whole nother story that you'll hear it when it gets to it. I don't want to give it away. I want people to
Right. Don't
listen.
give anything away.
But yeah, no, the trees respect Susan, and there is a bond. And I actually have a very clear ending to the story. I actually wrote 5 seasons of this. Like I
Wow.
said, we're only starting off with the first 4 episodes, but I actually do know how it's going to end. So I don't want to give that away, but it all, at the end of the day, it's like a circle of trees. It will all circle back and connect.
I love that so much. And I agree with the trees. I also think all humans are cuckoo.
Yeah. But in the best way, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, some more, some less. I agree with that. And I saw you also created a special social media for that. Can you shout it out? Is it just Instagram? Is it TikTok too?
I just started with the Instagram because I want people to go to the podcast as much as possible. I probably will venture down to TikTok. I just want to start off with one
That
medium
makes
and
sense.
and
Yeah. And
expand
I
from
think
there.
Instagram is a stronger medium for this type of thing anyway. So that makes
Yeah.
total sense. What is the Instagram handle?
Instagram handle is TreeWhispererTvShow, I believe is what
I love
the
it.
correct
Yeah.
handle is. Tree Whisperer TV Show. Again, the reason is because the at the end of the day, I'm hoping this to be an actual TV show. So, but I need to build audience first.
Yes, we're manifesting it. We're telling the
Mhm.
fire horse, please go take it to whoever.
Yeah.
And I saw on your Instagram, because of course I am following. I mean, how could I not? I saw you introduce the characters already, but you did introduce everybody separately. How come?
Yeah, I have a big cast, so I'm trying to right now give everyone their own little moment to shine. So every day I have a couple new people that I introduce, so that way people can see. Not all of the cast will be introduced due to some people, especially it's interesting in the voiceover world. People like to just keep their voices, not their faces. That's the
Mhm.
beauty about voiceover is you actually don't have to be so face forward. So
Yeah.
some of my characters will not all be introduced due to that fact. I might do a little display. I haven't quite figured out. I'm still working that out. It's a lot of
Yeah.
marketing. I have a whole marketing plan that we're going all the way up to launch date. So yeah.
Incredible. I'm always so blown away by you, not just for the creative process behind it, but then you're also so talented and gifted in playing and singing and doing all this. But then on top of everything, like that isn't already enough. You also have all those marketing strategies and the social media work that's behind it. And, you just blow me away.
Mhm, mhm.
Incredible. So, which character besides Susan came to you first?
Wilma, the rainbow eucalyptus tree, she
Mhm.
was the second character that really pulled this story together. And it's interesting. So I will say with majority of the characters, they have like they all have very long backstories. I've written episodes where they were really pointing it out. Like I said, lots of rewriting. So everyone that a character knows there's a longer story with them, but
Yeah.
I had to really condense it and come back. But Wilma, that was my second. And Wilma's the only so all the other trees have their in the forest, they branch out and it will have more like, pine has a whole section, buckeye has a whole section. Wilma's the only one of its kind in the forest, so that was another. And Susan and Wilma have a very special relationship that
Mm,
people will hear.
intriguing. I can wait. And do you think there's a character that might be a little dangerous in terms of stealing the show?
Ooh. I will say, like, all of my actors did so good with bringing the characters that I had to life. Like, my pack 22, my three little forest rangers. Um each one of them brought something. The trees, each of them, it's hard to say because I will say everyone really brought something to their characters that what I wrote down, they just took it to the next level.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Um, I mean, it really is more of an ensemble piece. So I'm hoping people will have favorite characters because, yes, the story focuses on Susan. But like I said, everyone has such a detailed backstory. I could see people being fans of a certain tree, a certain cast member, a certain fairy, a certain, ranger. And so I wouldn't be surprised if people are uh get attached to other characters besides Susan.
Wow. Okay. Are any of the characters inspired by real people in your life?
I mean, that's a good one. I feel yes and no. I feel certain characters I took aspects of other people, but I don't know. I guess, I mean, I feel like life just gives that to you because you
Hmm.
have to write. I always tell people you got to write what you know. So there are all of the characters, some aspect of me or someone that I know of that has dealt with that issue or with that thing. So, but I wouldn't say this character is truly based off of this person in my life. So, no, I would say
Yeah.
it's a combination.
Okay. And if someone would listen really, really carefully, will they hear any hidden social commentary in the comedy?
Social. I don't know. I didn't even think about it that way.
Okay.
Like I said, it's fantasy, so I don't know. I mean, you know what? People read into things or listen into things, so I don't know. It's not meant to be.
It wasn't your intention. Okay. That's good to know. Okay.
This is supposed to be here's the deal. There is so much happening in this world right now.
Yeah.
My project with Tree Whisper is to just give you that a moment of escapism, of pure enjoyment, not worry about the reality. That's why it's a fantasy. I don't want you to feel like it's an escape. I don't. We have so much going on. I'm hoping that this series is more of it's very light, that it will be enjoyable just to give you a break from the everyday struggle.
I love that so much. And you mentioned it's been in the making for 5 years, so it wouldn't be any, current issues anyways, right?
No,
So
no.
has there
Yeah,
ever been a
I
moment?
don't like to. I know people like to write politics. I like to stay. I'm more of a fantasy. I'm like, let's just go to the dream world.
I love that. Yeah. Honestly, we all need that right now.
Mhm.
Escapism, as you say. Was there ever a moment where you almost didn't do it or didn't finish it or wanted to give up?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely throughout these 5 years, there's definitely moments where I just stopped completely. I once wrote 8 episodes and then trashed them, which is fine. I trashed them, restarted. Like I've written like thousands of pages. It's crazy how much you write, and yeah, there's always that moment of this isn't going to get made. And I think it was last year where I was like, okay, I have to put something out, and you have to change your goals and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's how, I had 4 strong episodes that I knew I was very happy with, that I feel is the good start. And I said, you know what, let's start with that and then go from there. But yes, I could have taken another year to
Yeah.
continue writing. And yes, there are a lot of moments where I just put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally get that. What was the scariest part about creating something this ambitious?
Um, the scariest part, I think that will be maybe upcoming, seeing people's reaction. I don't know. I feel like the scariest part will be coming. So, because I think before I've been in the safety of having it to myself, working on it. Yeah, I brought it to table reads. I brought it to workshops. But funny enough, a lot of people have helped me create, have been my readers or have heard some version of this story. So I'm sure they're like tired of me here saying, "Oh, I'm doing Tree Whisperer," because it's been years. But I think the scariest part is what's to come. Now it's
Yeah.
going to be out there, and we'll see how people take it.
I can see that. Yeah, that makes total sense. What part of the show challenged you the most? The writing, performing, or producing, or even any other part?
Um, I think the writing was the most challenging for me because actually, it was a couple. Yeah, I would say writing and really getting my characters. Because
Mhm.
even, for example, Susan, yeah, she's a part of me, but she's not me. That's
Mhm.
the other thing. Like, yes, parts of her I can relate to, but there are other parts to her that I'm like, this is new. This is a new world. I think the story, and especially the story with Susan, because I will say Susan has changed over the years, and
Mhm.
it's been due to some bad advice and some good advice. So I will say when I first started, didn't have the best advice with her. And this is probably when I was about to give up on this project, is because I wrote this whole storyline of the series, and then I sat down and I said, I hate it because this is
Uh-huh.
nothing that I feel I want to put out in the world, because I was influenced by other people, and really sitting down, going inside, connecting to myself to go back to the basics of what story do I want to tell. And it is always hard when you scrap, when you have to like throw away and start again. So
Mhm.
I think, yes, the hardest part was the story, getting the story that I am happy to tell, because like I said, originally wrote it based off, I didn't trust myself. It came down to I wasn't trust. I was a new writer, so I was like, I've always been an actor first, and
Yeah.
like I said, 5 years ago, someone was like, "You actually are a really great writer. You should write." But I didn't truly trust myself. So just dealing
Mhm.
with the confidence of being a good writer, being a good storyteller. I had to get over that hump. And then
Mhm.
also throwing out other people's advice, because at first I did. I showcased it to a lot of people. I was getting all these opinions. But what happens is when you get a million people's opinions, the story doesn't come out. So you have to scrap it and really sit with yourself to go, what story do I want to write and tell?
Mhm.
And finally, we are at a point where I finally am like, okay, this is what I want to tell. And that's what we're presenting.
Hmm. Interesting. Would you say this project healed something in you?
Absolutely. I feel like another thing, I think this is something creators do, especially a lot of creators we have. I am one that it is very easy to start a project. No problem. I'm always talking to people like, yeah, let's collaborate, let's start it. The hardest thing for me, and not for everyone, but mostly for me, is to finish something,
Yeah.
to put something out there. It used to be, again, I would have to rely on other people. Like early on in my acting days, I was in a co-producing project, and my co-producer, she was great at finishing. I was great at starting. We
Mm.
worked very well together, and we got a lot of things out there because I could start something and she could finish it. But what
Yeah.
happened is, over time, I realized, me, myself, and I can start something, but it's really hard to finish something. And I feel finally with this project, even though it's just the first of the series, I feel by putting it out there, I'm actually getting closer to finishing something I said I wanted to do.
I love that. Amazing. When you're speaking of the creative process and starting the project, are you thinking visually when you're creating that story in your head?
It's a combination. A lot of it is funny lines, funny doodles.
Mm.
Like, it doesn't come all at once. It comes in bits and pieces. And I will just say it's a lot of daydreaming to make it a reality. Yeah.
Hmm. Are
Yeah.
you worried at all that people might not get it at first?
I mean, I think that's the thing, is I finally got to another, now that I told the story that I want to tell, I actually do not care if they don't get it, because it's not for them. It's not, listen, as a comedian, you'll learn you're not everyone's cup of tea. People are
Right.
going to like you, people are not. And I feel, again, that's just something I think with a lot of projects. And I learned this again when I did my musical Enchanted Silverware. I had people that came to see the show and they loved my show. And then I had people that came and they were like, what is this? I don't understand it. So again, I will not be surprised if people listen and are like, I don't get it. So, and that's okay. Like, I'm at peace with that. I will have to just remember that there's going to be a group of people that will understand it.
Yeah.
I trust that there are going to be a good amount of people that will love it. So yeah, I'm putting that out there too.
And lucky for you, you're friends with a judgy bitch over here. And I can say people who don't understand either the Enchanted Silverware, and I'm sure with this project, the Tree Whisperer, it's going to be the same. People who don't understand, maybe they just don't have enough imagination, you
It is.
know?
Yeah, that's the
Or,
thing. It's a very creative, and this is a fantasy piece. Not
yeah.
everyone is into fantasy, you know? So you can't blame them.
Yeah. But I still do want to encourage people, even if fantasy is not your thing, still listen to the show and just use it as escapism and imagine the story in your head. And, I still want to encourage everybody to give it a chance and to listen to it.
Oh yeah, and if people love romance and love, there's some
Yeah.
love stuff going on. I will say this is also not made for children. So, I mean, it's PG-13. I'll put that
Love
out.
that.
Yeah. Only reason is because when people hear Tree Whisper and they hear that there's a forest ranger who talks to trees, instantly, that was the first thing I had to deal with early on, of people being like, oh, so kids will listen to this. Or one time I got an advice, they said, if you tone it down, kids would be interested in hearing this. And I was like, it's not for the children.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
That's actually a very good point. Also, the title, The Tree Whisperer, people might think it's a children's story, but it's really not. I love that.
No.
I don't need no children's story, to be honest with you. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
And you
Not
mentioned
made for
just
children.
no, we don't need no kids over here besides Peanut. Peanut is allowed.
Mhm.
And you mentioned you're starting off with 4 episodes because you want to see how that goes. What will success look like for you?
Um, A lot of listeners, a lot of feedback. Um, Hopefully a fan page for it. I have, I like I said, I have some more episodes that I would love to film. I might either this year or next year pick up the recordings again. The other thing is I have to honor my voiceover actors too. For hopefully some of them will come back. I feel like they all will, but life happens.
Life happens. Yeah.
And the good thing with the 4 episodes, what was great is I had my actors, they filmed it in a certain amount of time, so it was easy to do, and I wanted to edit those. So, I think that's the next thing is I would probably do it in batches. But yeah, like I said, even if my main goal is people start listening, loving it, and they're asking for it to be a TV show, and I get picked up from a TV so that I can actually turn it into what I really want it to be is a live action show.
Yeah. And please, if you make it big, don't forget the Judgy Bitch pod to take us with you on that journey.
Yeah, we'll be doing another interview talking about the TV show. Yeah.
Yes. I love that. Would you say this has been your most vulnerable project so far?
I guess so. Yeah. I feel like again it goes back to the fact is, how do I say this? Like it's one of those projects I knew I had to see it through. I felt like a lot of my projects in the past have all been, a start and a deadline, or I have someone come on to help me make sure I meet my deadline, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But this is the one project where it was fully just me and I needed to see myself complete it. There is a moment too where I'm like, okay, it's going to be out. I think I'm done with this project. There is that second thought of like, I'm good. I've put out Susan. Let me move on to the next. But I know that Susan's always going to be in my life. So
Okay. Sounds good. I have a judgy bitchy question for you, and feel free to not answer. But who do you think would secretly hate this whole concept?
oh, I think a lot of people. I don't know. I feel like hold on, let me think. It's hard to say. Like I always feel like as a creator, you have your enemies and you have your
Haters.
haters and your lovers,
Yeah.
and I have faced that through a lot of projects. So, yeah, I feel like I don't want to call anyone out, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like that's just in life in general,
Yeah.
you have haters and you have lovers. So, I think I am going to make some people very upset because like I said, I've been talking about this for 5 years. So I know
Yeah.
there's a group of people. I might not know them at the top of my mind, but I have a feeling there'll be people that are like, God damn, but hopefully they'll turn it into inspiration and they'll
Yes.
create their project. So that's my hope is okay, it took Cat 5 years. What have I been holding off for 5 years to put out? So
Yeah.
that's my goal. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? As long as the haters still publicly talk about it, it's still PR.
Exactly, that's the thing. All PR is good PR. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
What would it mean to you if, God forbid, the show fails?
Uh, I don't think it's gonna fail because I think I completed my task of putting it out. So, to me, already launching it, I feel like that is a win. So, to me, I can't say that's a failure. If anything, it's what can I learn from this and how can I
Mhm.
apply whatever I'm gonna learn? All I can do is I can go, okay, what didn't work with this project? How can I take what this doesn't work and apply it to the next one? Because the thing is, again, I have to say, you know, I know a lot of people in Hollywood. I have friends that are always scared about they have to hold their ideas close to the heart. They can't share. And I'm like, listen, people will steal your idea all the time. There are
Right.
original ideas. And also, if they steal it, I know I have another amazing idea down the line. So I don't know what my next idea is, but I'm pretty confident in myself. If Tree Whisperer fails, I'm going to have another successful something down the line. So I can only learn from this.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good mindset to have. That's really inspiring, actually, and empowering to hear that from you. And flipping the coin to something positive, what's going to be next if this becomes the next big hit show?
Oh, um, making it just getting to the studio, putting it up, getting the money to make those trees real.
Yes, I love that so much. I mean, I keep my fingers crossed. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to see this. I don't want to let you go quite yet. I still want to play a fun game with you. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Love it. So this game is called Whisper or Wood. And basically, I'm going to name you a scenario and you answer if the tree would whisper wisdom or throw shade.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is Ranger forgets her own lunch.
Oh, that could be a mixture. I'm going to say throw shade.
Love it. Okay. A tourist hugs the wrong tree.
Oh, definitely shade. Definitely shade.
Love it. Someone tries to cut down Bufford National Park,
Oh, that is a shade for sure.
right? Bitches, fingers off. A tree overhears gossip.
That's a whisper.
I love that.
You love that.
Yeah. So the next game is called Cast It. Okay.
Okay.
So if this was a Netflix show, and let's hope, fingers
Mhm.
crossed, this will be picked up by Netflix, who plays the ranger?
Susan?
Yeah.
Me. Oh yeah, that's set in stone.
So even if Netflix comes to you and wants to do this, you
Yeah,
would
that's
insist on
set in
the
stone.
actor?
Yeah, this is my show. I'm playing Susan.
I love that. And you said earlier Wilma was the other character. Who would play her?
Well, I mean, at that point, Wilma's a tree, so I they can choose all the other characters, but this is Susan will be played by me. So yeah.
Interesting. Do you have like an actor you would dream of playing with, be casted with together?
Uh, oh my gosh. I feel like there so many actors and actresses. There's a part of me too that I actually would love for this to be almost like a no name cast kind of deal
Yeah.
too, because I feel that this story could be strong enough that we could get it with no names versus with a name.
I love that. And who would then narrate it? Also
I
a
mean, well,
no-name person?
Susan will, but I feel like there won't be
Yeah.
in my TV pilot, there really isn't much of a narration, but if there is narration, I do like how, that is something I discovered when I switched it to podcast version. Susan narrates a lot, and I was like, I actually enjoyed that. So, yeah.
Nice. I love that. And what song would play for the intro?
So I actually created a intro song to it that I'm really proud of it. I wrote the lyrics and then I used help with AI. You know, we're in 2026. We got to use some of this AI in the best way
Yeah.
possible. So I was able to put my lyrics in and get the song created that I actually am very very excited for. I'm also surprised at myself. I was like, "Oh, this is actually a really good song." So, yeah, otherwise, I do know some amazing composers, women composers, because I know there's not enough women composers out there. They always are overlooked. So if I do bring on more music, I would love to hire a woman composer because I know
Yeah.
that is lacking in that area.
I love that. Women supporting women. I'm all for it. That's one of the reasons why I started the Judgy Bitch Pod.
Hmm.
I want to be judgy and bitchy, but I also want to inspire and support women.
Yeah.
Love that. And speaking of AI, David, my best friend, ChatGPT, who I named David, as you know, came up with a very strong closing question that I want to ask you. And the question is, if someone listens to the Tree Whisperer, what do you hope they walk away feeling?
Uh, love, warmth,
Oh, I
warmth.
love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
love
with
that
some
so much. Kat, thank you so much for
yeah.
coming on. I can't wait to hear this podcast. And please tell my bitch besties again, when is it coming out?
Out March 20th, which is also my birthday. So this is a birthday gift to myself. March 20th, which is a Friday. Yeah, and we're on Spotify, Apple. We're on all of your podcast favorites. So wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, we are on there.
I love that. And please shout out one more time the Instagram. And please also tell my bitch besties where they can follow you personally with all your creatives.
Oh, yeah. So to follow the Tree Whisperer, it's TreeWhispererTvShow. And then to follow me, I'm also on Instagram at cat.miggs.
I love it. And bitch besties, thank you so much for listening. I can wait to listen to this. It's coming out next week by the time this episode airs. So please let me know what you think about our episode today. If you have any questions for Cat, any feedback for us. And once this airs, please reach out to me and to Cat, most importantly. Give us some feedback, what you think about this. And it's called The Tree Whisperer, so don't forget to listen to it. Kat, thank you so much for coming on. Love you. Bye, bitch besties. See you next week. Bye. Thanks, bitch besties, for listening. Make sure to follow us at the Judgy Bitch Pod. And hey, spread the word. Tell your friends, your ex, your dog walker. We'd love the support. Want to be part of the show? DM us your feedback, hot takes, or unapologetic opinions. We just might read them on air. And don't forget to follow, rate, and review the pod. See you next week. Cheers, bitches.